So we came out here to O Mountain today. Kind of been really busy in other aspects of life, and sitting down and really trying to get back to the core of things, back grounded to the reason why we do these things, the reason, our mission, our purpose. And I can't speak for Chase when I say this, but I know a lot of the times I get up. Hey, look at that lizard.
Look at him.
He's dancing.
Dancing by my water. He's like, give me some water.
But, at times with the business and trying to get the goals and systems in place for our business, I can lose sight of like where I've came from, what I'm doing this for. I kind of get caught in what they, I guess, call the rat race of chasing the next check or the next big payday or whatever. Not that we're getting paid big things or whatever, but I'm just saying, getting caught up in those things, and sometimes I let those things get to me, and I put too much mental capacity and mental like worry into it. I think about it way too much at times, and it seems like almost the more I worry about them, it starts to consume different aspects of my life. So really, having people like Chase and being able to give back and serve in different capacities through this podcast, through us being able to sit down, because ultimately we like to have people on here every single time, because I know there are people out there that want to tell their stories, and I think it's important whether you can relate to us or not. But Chase and I started this podcast to keep us accountable, to keep us on the narrow way, and at times, lining people up on here becomes almost a kind of a second job. Trying to schedule that out between work and other obligations we've got, and at times I think it's important. Not, I won't say for everybody, but for me specifically, to kind of take things back and slow down sometimes, because I get caught up. I want to hurry up. I want to rush in tomorrow. I want to rush into the next thing. When I think whatever situation or whatever opportunities in front of me, I kind of take it, and then I want to knock it out of the punch list and then put it aside and then get going to the next thing instead of being fully focused in the present. So that's something I've really tried to work on, and I've spoken about it before. It's really trying to focus on being in the present. Tomorrow's not promised, and being in this line, I say this line of work, I'm not necessarily in the recovery field. I've just been through recovery from a first person perspective. A lot of people don't make it out. A lot of people don't get the opportunities that not only I have, but Chase as well, because it seems like every week or every time that you think you're I don't know, making a gain, I guess, or pushing against anything, you get that call, you get that text, or you get that information that somebody lost their fight with addiction or with mental health or whatever it is. And I don't know, it's just a challenge not only to me, but to those who listen, that to those that are part of this fight. And you can fight it, and I say this fight, it's not just a fight against addiction, it's against I don't know, your mental health, really anything, a health, I don't know, a health mission you're on. I don't really know how to articulate that, but appreciate the now, appreciate how far you've come, because it's good. I don't know. You see it all the time. I won't say on like on social media. Social media does play a big part in a lot of things. We're obviously on social media with this, but I think we get I don't know, a grand view of how things are supposed to be. You know, hey, work harder, work longer. You know, it's me against the world, but that mindset only can kind of get you so far. Of course, you need to be selfish in certain things, man, certain aspects. But if you want to go somewhere fast, I don't know the saying, but if you want to go somewhere fast, you go alone. If you want to go far, you go with others. And this is not a sprint. Recovery or being who you're called to be, the purpose of your life is not a sprint to the finish line on saying I'm doing the best. There, to me, there has to be kind of a community around that because I don't have things figured out. I might think I do. I might know how kind of things have worked for me, but really getting other people's perspectives. And I'm not saying just getting their perspective, trying to understand their perspective on things, because you can necessarily or this is how I do, Chase, is I let people talk and you're like, yeah, whatever, dude, that's crazy talk, man. But I don't know. I mean, I just, you know, the further you walk in this life, and not saying that have walked far, but it's just the more things that become unknown, I guess is what I'm trying to say. The more things you like kind of discover and start understanding, you understand that there's so much more to understand. It kind of just opens a Pandora's box. Like when you walk through that doorway, you realize there's an infinite amount of other doors that it kind of opens up in a good way and in also a bad way. But, you know, really just sitting down now, getting the opportunity and in the middle of a week to kind of do this. I just wanted to be thankful and grateful for still being able to walk this earth, to be able to be a part of a community with other people. And whether you agree or disagree necessarily with what we do, but I welcome that. I welcome the unlike or the non-conventional way at time, because I think I can learn some things about it, because I don't know, and I guess in the recovery community you have different schools of thought on different things and saying this is the right way, everywhere else is wrong. And I necessarily don't believe that. I believe there's different walks for different people, different like, what do you want out of life, man? You know, how were you raised? What's your stance on, I don't know, faith or whatever? I think you have to figure out some things within yourself before you can, I guess, start walking that. And just because you do not necessarily believe or walk the same way I'm walking doesn't mean that we're not walking to the same destination. And you know, I'm not trying to be all, you know, universal here, because I do think there are certain parameters that that are set in that in a mental capacity and a I don't know, relationship capacity, and you know, different, I don't know, different spots of that. But really just being out here and kind of slowing down, stepping away from things. Because if I'm not careful, life will start to engulf me and I start to lose sight of what I'm really doing things for. Because at the end of the day, and Chase will tell you about this, and this is just me, I get caught up on tomorrow too much at times. And tomorrow's not here yet. So being present today. But I do, like I said, I want to just say thank you to all the people who have been along for the ride, and have supported us, whether it's 2 people or it's 10 people or it's 5,000 people. I mean, the numbers necessarily don't matter to me, but if it's one that gets anything out of this, then really that's all that matters. And like I said, you know, selfishly as I say this, it's not necessarily to put it out there for people. It's more of a chance that me and Chase get to sit down and kind of evaluate our stances and talk about some things that we need to talk about, and kind of being upfront and vulnerable about those things, because man, this shit is not easy. It hasn't been easy for me. It's been absolute. I like to think I've did some hard things in my life, but this is on a day-to-day. I won't say fight if it is. Sometimes I don't have to fight, but disciplining myself to cut certain things out, certain people out, certain relationships, certain mindsets, certain behaviors out of my life, to get to the goals that I want. And it's not monetary. You know, of course, there's monetary things that you want. You want to be comfortable, but I'm just the peace, the purpose, and knowing that I don't care what everybody else is doing. This is what I'm doing to be the best person tomorrow. I might not be there today. I might not even be there tomorrow, but being where I need to be. But I know that we do appreciate, again, our metrics are not measured on likes nor like people subscribing, because we don't make any money off of it. Honestly, it costs us money to do this. It costs us time to do these things. And but it does, I believe, help to get those that are needing to hear something like this. Not that what we have to say is so important, that we need to be on a pedestal or a pulpit preaching to people. I'm not saying that. I'm one of anybody else, man. I'm just like you, watching on the other side of the screen. I have good days and bad days, but you know, I would like to think when I was going through those times of need, some very tough life events, to know that others just like me, in situations just like myself, have dealt with those same emotions. And it's, as hard as it may be at that time, it's kind of a sense of comfort, man.
Yeah.
A sense of I wouldn't say be refreshing, but it's like, man, like at least I know that somebody else has felt like that. Because at times, and I don't know, even my walk in recovery, and a lot of times in my walk in recovery, but especially before an active addiction, I literally felt like I was the only person on earth at times. Like nobody understood me. You know, your mental game, how you felt like the world was on your shoulders, just you're miserable. You're miserable all the time. And, you know, that drink or that drug, momentarily quiets that feeling. But as soon as that wears off, then it comes back exponentially. So you're chasing that numbness to numb those things. And not that I'm at a point now, but working through those things, that I think is so important to lean into the discomfort, to not always understanding things, but, trusting the process of which you have set forth. Certain boundaries, parameters one sets in their life to say, like, I don't care how much I like this, or how, I don't know, how good it feels. And I'm not talking about drugs, or how right it feels. This is, I set this boundary, so I'm going to have to cut that off. And it might be people, it might be on your family, it might be certain parts of you that you have to cut away. And that's honestly the toughest thing for me, is to cut off those behaviors, those thought patterns, those things that, I'll get mad and angry with somebody, but I'm really more mad and angry with myself than I really am. They haven't did anything, you know what I mean? They're just existing, living their life, and I'm just mad, you know what I mean? Like how like I'll get sometimes, I'm just like, dude, I wish they'd hurry up, and I forget, like, it's not about me, man. It's really not about me, but it's about us, and how am I better serving those around me and giving away what has been freely given to me. But also just to, this podcast, this series, I don't know, whatever one would call it, has opened so many doors for Chase and myself. And I'm not even talking professionally. I'm talking about, it has gotten us in rooms, and we have met some incredible people who have literally changed the trajectory of our lives. this time last year, to be where we are today, and again, not that we are anywhere today necessarily, but to say this podcast would have gotten us into rooms where we have been able to make connections with people
Hopefully help.
and hopefully help. Yeah, absolutely. Hopefully help. But just to be able to, they see something in you that you never saw in yourself, because I wasn't capable of seeing those things in myself. And they're saying like, no, I see what y'all are doing. Keep what you're doing. But not only that, we see what you're doing, and we want to bring what you're doing into a part of what we're doing.
Yeah.
And I don't know. That's humbling, because at times, in addiction, Chad, we all struggle with like confidence and self-esteem and stuff.
Still do.
And still do. But like when somebody, not as egotistical, but it feels good when somebody's like, man, like, I see what you're doing, man. I see what y'all are doing. And it might not be where you want to be right now, but we notice. And we don't only notice, but we want you to be a part of what we're doing. And I don't know, I'm not saying tune our own horn, but that speaks volumes to them and who they are, and the work, that we have had to put in. Not only, the time, but the inner work, man. And the inner work's more important to me. The mental and the work on the heart has been more important to me than anything, because you can take, and I think I've said this before, you can take the house away, you can take the truck away, you can take the numbers in a bank account away, but now I'm building ourselves up. You can strip all monetary, but I still am who I am. Like, that does not mean nothing to, I won't say that don't mean nothing to me, but I'm saying you're not really taking nothing away from me. I can get back the monetary things, man. I can get back car. It's numbers in a freaking account. That's all it is. It's mathematics in an account that we try to grow that number to make us feel more secure. But feeling secure in my skills and who I am as a person, I think is where I'm trying to get. I'm not even close there. I'm not saying that. But being comfortable in your own skin, saying I don't have to drive this, I don't have to live here, I don't have to have necessarily this job. And success means a lot of things other than numbers in a bank account, what you do for a living, man. Well, first thing, usually when you're talking to somebody, small talk, like, hey, what do you do for a living? Oh, I'm this, that, or whatever, and they label you that as so-and-so, the doctor, or that whatever it is, and you're so much more than the service you provide to the world.
You're successful.
Yeah, you're successful because you're a doctor and you're helping people. And I'm not taking nothing away from that. That is, I'm not trying to say anything, but we have the statuses of what you do for a living and how many numbers you earn, based on, or what car, or what school you go to, or what church you go to. Kind of values, puts value on who you are. And I want to tell that, like, and still to this day, I have to kind of step back and say, like, I'm not what I drive. I'm not where I live. I'm not saying I want to drive a nice truck. I do not drive a nice truck. We do live in a nice house. We do have nice things. I'm not saying that, but you are not those things. And if somebody took all that away from you today, who would you be? Would you still be the guy that's going to go with this? I don't care. Like, that doesn't make me. I'm just as comfortable on a king size bed as I am on a cot on the floor, dude. I'm just as happy as eating steak every night, Chase, than I am ramen noodles and tuna. Like, that's not going to beat me. That's not going to define me. Now, would I like those things? Of course, man. I'm crazy to tell you. You think I'm crazy or an idiot to say that I wouldn't like those things, because I would. Again, coming back to a place and grounding ourselves, or you, whoever's watching, to those aspects, has helped me. And I have to do it kind of daily. I don't know, you can ask Chase, like, I try to write a journal every day, and just kind of have some time in the mornings where I try to put the day on a T and start it off that way. Not that it always starts off good. Not that I'm perfect. but it just helps me to forge ahead of who the person I want to be. Because for years, man, Chase and I just had this discussion the other night. It's like we're getting calls from people to do things in their lives that 6 months ago you couldn't even think about, man. And again, please don't think that it's like we're bragging about ourselves, but like I am you. If you're not where you want to be, I'm just saying you can change your circumstances. It's like, what are you willing to do those things? Are you willing to kill away all those relationships and parts of yourself? Like if you want to lose weight, are you willing to stop eating or start drinking Coca-Colas? And if you're not willing to do necessarily certain things in your life, I would say you're not willing to really change. And again, that's my opinion.
You don't want it.
You know, you don't really want to. You want to talk about it and talk about it, feel good. But when it starts, and it feels good for the first 2 or 3 months when you see real progress. But then when you're a year and a half, 2 years in, and you're in the midst of it, and you know, bills are due, next job's not lined up, my kid's sick, my wife's pissed off at me. You know, who are you running to, man? Who are you running to? And that's what I'm saying, building myself into the things of like, I'm built for this. Like, I don't know exactly the next step, but I know I'm not going to quit. I'll figure it out. And if I mess up, make the wrong decision, but the wrong decision is going to be made with a sober mind and the best information I have at this time. You know, hindsight's always 20/20, but you don't have all the information then to make that decision. And if we make a mistake, it's going to be a mistake at 100% with the best of information and sobriety on top of that. So I know I'm thinking about things logically as best I can, and not I'm not going to make a decision when I'm angry or when I'm feeling anxious. I'm trying to try to step away. Not that I always don't, dude. I make snap decisions when I get pissed off or I get anxious. You can ask Chase. I'm like, yeah, let's go now, and I just do it. And it's something I have to get better on. You know, I don't know if I ever conquer that fully. You know, not that I have to, not that that's necessarily the goal, but I don't know, man. That's kind of really what I wanted to do. You know, and of course, I'm looking forward to, I don't know, the next 100 people we have on here. But at times, and I say this with sincerity, you know, at times pouring out to other people, you got to make sure you're pouring into yourself. You know, you can't feed other people if you're not feeding yourself, because then you're not going to have the strength to even do anything, man. You got to hydrate yourself before you start hydrating other people. And same like on a plane. Remember on Delta, like if something happens in the mask, you put your mask on first before you help your kid, before you help anybody else. And then it's not selfish, but if you can't help people if you're not feeding yourself first. That's just one thing, is making sure we're taking care of ourselves, because none of this would be possible if it wasn't for sobriety, Chase.
Yeah.
I mean, none of this would even be fathomable if it wasn't for sobriety. And if I can be sober, I'm telling you, anybody can be freaking sober. Anybody can get it, because there was a time in my life I never thought I could go a day without some type of chemical. You know, so. But really, that was kind of my line of thought, Chase. I don't know what you're thinking. I didn't mean to talk the whole time.
No, I mean, you're good. I mean, I agree with everything you said, you know. So I'm just at the point in my life where I got to make time for things that actually matter. So.
And you enjoy.
Yeah.
And but see, those things you're able to enjoy them.
Yeah.
It's like you love to go golf, right?
Yeah, I can afford it.
And you can afford it, but you're not 26 beers deep by hole 11, and you're just hammered out there whacking.
I'm more just tired after.
Yeah. And you enjoyed it. You were present.
Yeah, and I can still go do things, not have to worry about getting home.
Drunk drove a golf cart, yeah. Drunk drive your car.
Yeah,
you know?
Drunk driving golf carts all day to drunk driving an actual car.
Yeah.
And, I just talk about it a lot, man. Is I'm finding more things that are important in life than just how I was living, or the people that were in it that didn't really necessarily care about me. It was just I was always a yes man, so I could they knew, anybody that called me knew I was gonna say yes. So even if I had $5 in my account, I was gonna
Can I
figure
have
out a
five?
way.
Can I have $5?
I don't have $5. I'm just saying, if I had $5, I would go spend it on a drink
Yeah,
or something, and
yeah,
or I had $5 to pitch into something. Hey, I got $5. I'll pay you back later. I don't know,
yeah.
something stupid. So, but I mean, I am grateful for the times now, just because we have a lot of people that trust us now, that are regaining trust back with a lot of people that we've met that are instilling trust in us. They haven't really let us go too far, but they're letting us, I mean,
Earn it back. They're giving us
yeah.
a chance to earn it back.
Well, that and new people to earn their trust is
Yeah.
what I'm saying is, and I think we've done our part to show that you can, and it's not that I say that with a pure heart, because I mean, I think so many people that I could do things, if I felt like it, man. I would do it for my best interest. Like, it's like, well, how much money do I get, or if I
Yeah.
was struggling,
What's in it for me?
yeah. And I don't think like that necessarily. There's something. I mean, a business standpoint, we know that
Yeah,
that's
we got to pay
that's
our bills.
different, but
Yeah.
life and people that actually matter and have done so much for my life, that I want to. It's my turn to kind of show them that I can do it too, and you've given so much to me. I can't repay you for all the things that you gave me, but I can do my best, is to make up for the time and the lost effort and tries, and where they've been there and done everything for me.
Yeah.
So, it's like I can't really repay back that, but I can. That's very important. Is what I've learned is, like, people don't want anything back. They just want to see you do better, and that's
Hmm.
what they've wanted to see for so long. And you didn't see that in yourself, and I'm speaking for me. And now that I'm able, I was always able to. I let life drag me down, and
Yeah.
drinking and drugging and doing all the non-important things. I always thought I was gonna be broke, or I was always gonna have to drink, and I, I that's just my life now. I can't, figure, you know, this is what I'm gonna do for the
Hmm.
rest of my life. So, or until I die, or if it kills me, or if I killed somebody, or if I'd be in prison or dead, or whatever the consequences are for my actions. I was okay with them.
Yeah.
I was okay that I would die. I was okay that, like, I wasn't okay that I would hurt somebody that would have ruined me, but, like, mentally and whatever, I never want to hurt nobody, but the way I was going, it was the inevitable. So, I don't know. I'm just, like you said earlier, man, I'm just grateful for where I'm at now. And I've got so much further to go, but that's just, it's the patience and the putting in the time and effort is the only way to really do it now. And it's not that I'm sitting here to prove to I'm not really out to prove anything to anybody anymore. It's more to prove to myself that I can do it. So, and I am gonna do it, and I will do it. So, it's just taking that time right now to to really take back all the stupid things that I set myself back with, because it's my fault. You know, I did it myself. Nobody did it for me, and that takes time to regain and, you know, get back. You know, if you really wanna know how to mess up a credit score or anything like that, call us. You know what I mean?
Still don't have a good credit
You
score.
want to
dude.
know? I'm just kidding. Don't do that.
Don't mess up your credit score.
Or
You'll pay for it, especially when you start a business.
yeah. And I mean, so I don't know. That's really all I got. Honestly, just kind of. I'm just out here living now, man. That's all I want to do now, is just live and do the things that I care about most. You know, I wish I could still go and do my climbing and things like that, and I could, but man, does it hurt. It hurts. I was joking with a friend. I was talking on the phone, and she was like, "That's an old man sport with golfing." I was like,
I'm an old man.
"I'm an old man now."
Yeah, I'm an old man.
I'm
okay with it too.
Yeah,
I'm okay with it.
It's just something. I've always been an outdoorsy guy. You know, I got to make more time to do a lot more things I love. I love camping. I love doing everything. I create excuses to not do those things for some reason. But, you know, I went golfing by myself the other week, and like, for some reason I was so nervous about it. I've just been with people, oh, I want to do this with somebody, but I really value the time that I can get out and do things by myself, because that's where I kind of think and find myself the most. And I'm not sitting there thinking about dreadful things. I'm like, this was nice. I got to, especially golfing, man. I got shot one of the best rounds I've ever shot in a while, and I was just focused. I was thinking about anything. I was just had my music blasting. I didn't care what anybody thought, and I was having a good old time. And sometimes you need that. You need that. You don't have to. You don't have to have people's like. You don't gotta be with somebody people all the time, man. It's like a. I don't know. I don't know what to call that, an anxiety thing. I don't even know where. What's the thing where people just have to be around some people?
Codependency?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, and you know, it's like, oh, I gotta have this person here to even have a good time, and it's like, no, you don't. You know,
It's being comfortable in your own skin.
yeah,
Man.
just
It's peaceful too.
yeah, and you find yourself more conscious about things. Like, you don't miss anything because you're not sitting there talking or, you know, or worried about other people. You're just you're present, and you can be, you know, and you find yourself a little more, and you know, I've just found myself just again that inner peace, man. That you can't just find with a lot of people, man. You got to find it within yourself sometimes, because you can sit here and talk or whatever to anybody, and they can tell you things to do or what to do, but ultimately you got to find it yourself. And I'm learning that. I'm still learning that. And yeah, man.
Yeah. Well, man, thank y'all for tuning in. We do appreciate it. Thank you for following along for those that have, and you know who I'm talking to. I do appreciate that. We love y'all. We hope y'all are having a good week, a good day. And if you're not, we hope it gets better. If there's anything we can do, please reach out. Love y'all. Thank y'all.